Hi, my name is Cordell Cruz, and for ahead of time, sorry for the late submission. There was a lot of things going on with work and family life, but this is my submission for my assignment number 2, fundamentals of computer science, and for the low end and high end. So for my computer case tower, for my low end choice, I chose the Mars E2 Micro ATX Mini Tower case, and it was only $54.99, and it was compatible with a Micro ATX. And for the high end, I chose a MPG Skrilla EATX Mid Tower case, and it was $244.99, and it was compatible with a EATX. And I put the URLs for both photos and both sites in each slide. And for the motherboard, for the low end, I chose a Gigabyte B550M Aros Pro brand and the brand was a Gigabyte. And for the form factor for the motherboard, it's a Micro AXT, which was compatible with the low end choice of the computer case. And the CPU socket type was an AM4. And for the number of memory slots, it was a 4x288 pin. And for the memory space, it was a max of 128 gigabytes. And the price was $99.99. So about $100. And for the high end, it was also Gigabyte. It was a Gigabyte C690 Aros Extreme. And the form factor was EATX, which was compatible with the computer case. And the CPU socket type is an LGA 1700. And the number of memory slots is a 4x288 pin. And the total memory space is the same as 128 gigabytes. And the price is $899.99. And for the computer processing unit, the CPU, for the low end, I chose a Ryzen 5 5600X, and it was supported by AM4. And the number of cores is 6, and the number of threads are 12. And the frequency is 3.7 to 4.6. And the memory type is DDR4 3200. And the price is $299.99. I mean $299 even. And the low end for the high end choice, I chose a Core 17 127,000K CPU, and the brand is Intel, and the CPU supported is the LGA 1700. And the number of cores are 12, and the number of threads are 20. And the frequency, it goes to 2.7 to 5.0 GHz. And the memory type is DDR4 3200 to DDR5/DDR5 4800. And the price is $418.88. For the memory, for the low end, I chose a G.Skill F4 3200 C16D 8GB KB, and the brand is a G.Skill. And the capacity for this memory is 8 gigabytes, 8 GB, and the memory type is DDR4 3200, and the price is $39.99. And for the high end, I chose a ADATA AX4 U3200 16G16A DW50, what brand it is the XPG, and the capacity is 32 gigabytes, and memory type is DDR4 3200, and the price is $119.99. And for the storage device, I chose for the low end a hard drive device. I chose a Western Digital WD40EFZX, which is the brand, which was WD. and the capacity was 4 terabytes, and the RPM was 5400, and the price was $84.99. And for the high end, I chose a Seagate ST 10000 NE0004, which is a Seagate, and the capacity was 10 terabyte, and the RPM was 1700, and the price was $338.99. For the power supply, I chose for the low end a Coolmax CM300, and the brand was a Coolmax, and it was compatible with the Micro ATX, and maximum power is 300 wattage, and the input voltage was 115/230V voltage, and the price was $35.01. And for the high end, I chose a AirGame AGT 1000, and for the brand is a AirGame, and the compatibility is a ATX 12V EPS 12V, and the maximum power is 1000 watts, and the input voltage is 100/240V voltage, and the price is $175.99. And the cooling system, I chose for the low end a Cooler Master RR212S20PC R1, and for the brand is a Cooler Master, and the RPM is a 650 to 2000, and for the airflow is 57.3 CFM. And for the type, for the type of cooling system, it is a fan and heatsink, and for the supported CPU for this fan is an AM4, and the price is $47.99. And for the high end, my high end choice, I chose a Fantex company PGO 240 MPH DWT01 or 01. And for the brand is a Fantex, and for the airflow, it was 13.8 to 60.51 CFM, and the type of cooling system is a liquid cooling system, and the supported CPU is a LGA 1700, and the price is a $135.55. And for the monitor, I chose for the low end a Z-Edge U27P 4K, and the brand is a Z-Edge, and the resolution is 4K, and the refresh rate is a 60 Hertz. And the price was $239.99. And for the high end, I chose a Samsung U32R590C curved monitor, which was the brand Samsung, and the resolution was the same, which was 4K, and the refresh rate was the same, which is 60 Hertz. But the price was $499.99. And for the low end, I chose for the next was the keyboard and mouse. For the low end, I put I chose the Logitech MK45 keyboard mouse combo, which had the mouse and the keyboard to keep it low end for the combination. And for the high end, for the keyboard, I chose the G513 Logitech. The brand was a Logitech, and it was $124.99. And for the mouse, I chose the new Apple Magic Mouse 2, and the cost of that was $59.80. And here's my chart for the spreadsheet, and the price comparison. You can see how the price differed immensely, and how the low end the total for the low end was $972.97, and the total of the high end was $2,969.16, which makes the difference $1,996.19, which was the difference between both monitors. So a whole $1,000 difference, basically. And ahead of time, I'm thankful for this assignment, and it was very fun looking for everything, and I have zero experience in computer science and knowing what I was looking for, but I really enjoyed looking for it and learning about this, and I'm sorry if I didn't put in anything that was important if I missed any information. But thank you for accepting my submission, and I hope you like my presentation, and my spreadsheet will be connected to the assignment. And thank you.